Am I the a-hole for cutting off my cousin and her mom after they accuse me indirectly of stealing at her wedding? This episode is all about what do we allow family to get away with?
Stealing, I guess.
Yeah, and murder.
Yay.
This comes from Annoyed Cousin Throw, and they say, hey, Reddit, I'm in a tough spot and could really use some outside perspective on the situation. So my cousin Emma and I have never been particularly close, but we've always been civil. When she got engaged in December 2022, I sent her a thoughtful present, which she thanked me for repeatedly. Fast forward to February, and Emma invited me to her wedding in April 2024. Living abroad and starting a new job, I made it clear that I needed advance notice to attend, and thankfully, I managed to make it. Emma asked me to be a part of her wedding entry, and despite not being very close, I agreed, hoping it would help us build a better relationship. Just a week before the wedding, I found out she'd been talking negatively about me and my career as a project manager. It stung, but I didn't want to cause drama before her big day, so I kept quiet. Also, project manager is kind of like a coveted job.
It's such a respected and also like neutral career. It's both like you're like very successful and it's like, what are you going to say? You're too organized.
Yeah.
Like what?
It doesn't make any sense. During the wedding weekend, I helped Emma get dressed for her Hindu ceremony, and her mom told me to leave the jewelry as she would handle it later. So I only packed away the bangles. The entry went smoothly, and I attended the reception without any complaints. However, after the wedding, I chose not to leave a gift, intending to address the hurtful comments privately after the festivities. Days later, Emma asked me about the missing jewelry, and I told her I hadn't touched it beyond what her mom instructed. Later that day, I saw Emma posting on Facebook about missing jewelry and implying that someone in the family may have taken it, and I felt uneasy, especially since her mom and I were the only family members helping her get dressed. Then things escalated when her sister made comments on the post saying, we didn't like her anyway. Her mom reached out to me asking about the bangles, which made me feel like they were singling me out. Even the grandmother called, further cementing that they may have discussed me as a suspect. Finally, another cousin messaged me saying the jewelry was found boxed up in a car. So no one actually stole it. They just misplaced it. But Emma refuses to retract her accusations online because she's embarrassed. Feeling betrayed, I chose to cut Emma and her mom out of my life. I deleted them from my socials and blocked their numbers. Now my grandma's upset, saying I was unfair for not explaining myself. So Reddit, am I the jerk for cutting them off without explanation? Should I have handled the situation differently? Thanks for your insights. And there are some relevant comments and an update. But John, is OP the a-hole for cutting out their cousin like this?
I'm wondering, like, it gets a little tricky with family. Is this there's like no contact, low contact, and then like no contact light?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, hey, maybe I block you, but like, okay, we go to family events and I'm like cordial. If you say hi, I'll say hi back, whatever. But I'm not like actively trying to engage. That enters a gray area where you're maybe causing issues for the other family members who are not involved and neutral.
Yeah,
people.
I mean, I feel like the fact that Emma, the cousin, didn't retract what she said on Facebook, red flag. That's like totally terrible. And basically, she's afraid of looking bad for making OP look bad. I think that's full license for OP to distance herself from them. So I don't think OP is the a-hole for blocking them, but just be cordial around in groups. I think if OP wanted to do the thing that accomplishes what she wants without the drama, all she maybe needs to do is just stop talking to them and not reach out.
Which sounds like is kind of that's the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, like maybe blocking them is what they were upset with. All she did was she cut them out of her life, and I deleted them from my socials and blocked their numbers. And the grandma is upset, saying I was unfair for not explaining myself, like explaining why she blocked them. So maybe you could say like, hey, I really don't think I want you in my life to the same degree, so I'm going to take a step back.
I think you could say like, hey, I thought it was like pretty unfair that you like accused me of this thing and you never really took it back or like apologized to me. I thought that was really not okay. And
I think if this was me, I would have a conversation and say why I'm distancing myself and then distance myself.
Yeah.
Without blocking, but not reaching out.
It almost sounds like also OP like told other family members or the grandma specifically that they blocked them.
The potential for it to cause more drama is higher when you say that.
Yes.
But there are some relevant comments and an update. So additional information from OP. I would like to add that Emma and I are first cousins. Jessica, who told me about the update, is a second cousin who is distant from Emma. So it sounds like this was being discussed with everyone but me. Thankful that Jessica heard it and decided to let me know immediately. And everyone decided OP is not the a-hole, which I think we agree with.
Nice.
OP, if she received an apology regarding the missing jewelry, OP said, no apologies from their end. All I've heard since was she's embarrassed to pull her posts and say she found it. Not even pulling the posts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like at least delete the posts.
But she's so worried about herself. And she's like, I would rather, double down on a lie than make myself look bad.
But it's like, this wouldn't even make her look that bad, just deleting the post. So why not do it?
Not at all. Yeah, it almost feels vindictive.
Yeah.
And Love Bubble says, so can we block the grandmother now?
Yeah, I think you could consider it. But at this point, I don't think I would block the grandmother. Way too early. Severe ad 7761 says, not the a-hole, probably way off. This was probably a setup. If she doesn't like you and y'all aren't that close, then why ask you along with her mother to help her get ready? Why not her sister? That last minute invite. It was either a happy coincidence to be able to accuse you or she set you up, but someone else discovered/found the jewelry where they weren't supposed to be looking. A box in a car that you would think would have already been taken out by now.
So are they saying that this was maybe an elaborate conspiracy setup?
Yeah, it was a setup, which honestly, I could believe.
That would be crazy and definitely grounds to block them.
OP responds, did not think about it this way. Her sister was popping in and out of the changing room. I did not think anything of it at the time. It's sick if they truly wanted to use this against me and not speak up. Even if they post a retraction, I want nothing to do with them. Accusing me and finding it just recently in your car is unacceptable. And on if her grandma has a favorite grandchild because of what happened, OP responds, Emma is grandma's favorite, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
If you're going to have a favorite, at least let them not be like stupid and evil. Maybe the grandma kind of knows that they did plan this and she doesn't really care.
Okay, why the cousin said something bad about OP before the wedding, about her job and stuff. I think the grandma's.
Oh, do you think the grandma is the mastermind? Yo, yep. Dude, we are hopping off with conspiracy theories right now.
I think so.
So the grandma goes to OP and was like, "Hey, don't block them. Don't worry about it." She's like trying to be the one pulling the strings here. You know what I mean? And it seems like the cousin is kind of just being quiet and silent and not trying to be the manipulators try to pull all the strings. Yeah. Right. So if it was the bride, would the bride be like, hey, let me keep trying to pull the strings? Like, let me, instead of not just like ignoring it and not taking count down the post, let me double down and do another post.
All right. So update.
Let's do it.
I read through the majority of messages received and I agree. I should have confronted it. Last night, I called Grandma and Emma on a three-way asking about the jewelry that was conveniently found in the car. Emma said that wasn't for me to find out as she only told her mother and grandma. Obviously a lie because Jessica heard and passed it to me. She also lives abroad and isn't close to Emma. Grandma then said, well, it's material and it's found. We don't have a long time here. Let's all get along.
Oh, she's trying to sweep it under the rug.
Trying to sweep it under the rug.
Why? You want me looking into it? Grandma?
What else are you hiding, Grandma?
Yeah,
Am I even your real granddaughter?
DNA
grandpa,
test?
DNA test.
Actually, my grandpa.
Yeah. I responded, no, thank you. I needed a public apology because I blindly believed Emma and I had a good relationship. I even heard she made comments about my job, which I wanted to address after the wedding. Emma confirmed the comments and the talking crap, re my job and her sister's comment, but is sticking to her guns about the jewelry. I mentioned to her I was posting on Facebook about the jewelry and will attach screenshots to it, and that I want nothing further to do with Emma since she was not remorseful and is proud of disliking me for whatever reason. Lesson learned. Thank you, everyone. Relevant comments. Flinders and Trim says, sorry that so many people in your family are horrible, OP. You deserve better. I could see how much you cared by willing to travel for a cousin you weren't even close with, you hope to get closer to, and how you reacted to their bullying. You're better off without them. Do make sure to get your side of the story to others in the extended family, because you can bet that everyone involved, possibly with your grandmother, seeing and not actively shutting down, will be telling a story to them where you are the bad guy. And OP does have a response, but Riley, what's up?
Holds the grandma. Because if the grandma was a little older,
Inheritance.
And if she frames OP for stealing the jewelry, she would get more of the inheritance.
Yes, but these are not aunts. If it was like OP's mom, then they would stand to inherit. So it's like one degree removed.
Well, I think she would still give stuff to
OP might,
to the granddaughters.
The granddaughters might receive something, but probably the parents are receiving.
The parent, yeah.
Like
Okay.
I got no inheritance from my grandparents. They just left it to their direct children.
Dang.
But OP responds, that's what really hurt. I was hoping she was sincere about inviting me and asking me to participate. When she got engaged, I even sent her a present incorporating her interest, and she was so appreciative, or so she seemed. It sucks knowing I meant basically nothing. I was hurt that they never really liked me anyway and made fun of my job as a project manager at an engineering firm. Weird job to make fun of. Like, what are you doing?
Truly jealous.
Being married?
Yeah.
Jealous.
Have never done anything to them to warrant this. It's just confusing and hurtful. However, the Band-Aid is off and life will continue without them. OP on sharing her information with the extended family on social media about what really happened at the wedding. OP responds, I'm posting it this evening regardless if she takes it down or not. Jessica gave her blessings for me to use her messages as proof, so I'm not playing around. I am not a thief. I don't care if you like me or not. You're not going to get away with that. Boom. OP proceeding on how she dealt with the family talking badly behind her back and Emma's background on saying bad things about her. OP responds, that's my thing. Why are you embarrassed? You were emboldened to post about it and clearly discuss it offline with my name in it, which is how it got back to me. Emma does not have very many friends. She's one of those very religious, conservative girls, does not drink, smoke, party, have multiple partners, but if the same person for 10 years has good grades, etc. According to other cousins, she's very much about optics and very judgmental. Life will be perfectly fine without her, and I am looking forward to responses on my post clearing my name. And OP responds on how her grandma was upset with her cutting off the family and accusing her for ruining Emma's day. OP responds, correct. Grandma was one of the people questioning me, even though I gave the same answers, and wants me to explain why I'm cutting off my cousin and to dismiss it because it was found. How is that fair to me after I've been accused and had my name dragged through the mud?
I mean, I guess one question that comes to mind is like, how many people have seen the cousins like Facebook posts and actually believe that OP's
I think a lot.
It totally could be a lot. Given OP's visceral reaction, I was gonna say it could be a situation where it's like she made the post, but no one really cared, nobody really thought about it, and then it's like, okay, I don't know if it's worth giving it that energy. But if it is that way, then it's like, okay, I think it is good to clear your name, and you do deserve.
It's your reputation.
Justice.
It's your reputation. 100%. And I think it is important to clear your name.
Yeah.
And I think we might be getting into some of that right now. So, final update, which is a lie. There's one more update after this.
Yes.
After consulting with an attorney friend and compiling all relevant evidence, including screenshots and messages, we took the step of sending a legal letter to my cousin. Additionally, I made a post on Facebook tagging my family members, family friends who attended the event, the priest who officiated, and even her neighbors. Yep, my petty booty went the extra mile to bring awareness of the situation.
Oof.
So now we are getting to the actual email.
I think I was not understanding how much of an impact it was having on
Yeah,
OP's
I mean,
reputation.
everyone in their family is like, this person's terrible.
Yes.
And OP was like, hey, you have an opportunity to do this yourself. All right, you're not going to do it. I'm
Yes.
stepping in.
100%.
So, important announcement regarding Emma's wedding. Hello, everyone in the Brown family. I hope this message finds you well. I feel compelled to address a matter that has been weighing on my mind since Emma's wedding last April. Firstly, I want to express my gratitude to Emma for inviting me to be part of her special day. It was an honor to participate, and I genuinely was touched by the opportunity. However, recent events have left me deeply disheartened. It has come to my attention that there have been discussions both prior to and following the wedding where unkind remarks were made about me and my profession. While this was hurtful, I chose to handle the situation delicately and intended to discuss it with Emma after the wedding to gain clarity. Despite the hurtful comments, I remained committed to supporting Emma on her wedding day. I assisted her with changing outfits and took care of her belongings as requested. Regrettably, shortly after the wedding, I was unfairly implicated in the disappearance of some jewelry. Subsequent discussions with Emma revealed that there were private conversations insinuating my involvement, which left me feeling unfairly targeted.
Ooh.
It was only through the disclosure from third party that the truth about the jewelry's whereabouts emerged. I confronted Emma about these revelations, hoping for resolution and understanding. However, her response was dismissive, and she refused to acknowledge the hurtful nature of her actions. Instead, she chose to maintain hurtful social media posts, causing further distress. In light of these events, I have made the decision to distance myself from Emma and her immediate family. My conscience is clear, and I refuse to tolerate such unjust treatment. Furthermore,
It ain't over.
I want to assure you all that I am taking the necessary steps to clear my name.
He will die if it means reading this letter to the people.
Clear my name. I am in contact with legal counsel to draft a letter and seek exoneration from these false accusations. I share this message not out of spite or animosity, but to set the record straight and reclaim my integrity. P.S. The missing jewelry was found by her mother in the car. For all those interested in the details, I've compiled all relevant screenshots and supporting information in a Google Drive.
Receipts.
Feel free to click the link to access it.
Not a Google
Like and
Drive.
subscribe.
The end. Thank you to everyone who supported and gave advice and confollowed me. Looking forward to going on a vacation tomorrow while Emma spends the next few days dealing with this.
Love Bubble says, Sam, you're going to get the mic sick. Good Lord.
Yeah. I am okay. I'm not dying.
Pray for Sam.
Relevant comments. OP on the birth order with Emma and how her grandmother planned to distribute her possessions. OP, that's the funny part. She's actually 4 years younger than I am. I have never been a fan of the fighting for land and jewelry. I've always told my grandma I wanted one of her saris and a pair of earrings if she was okay with it. Even if I didn't get the earrings, the sari would be enough. Just something to remember her by.
I called that though.
Called what, though?
No. It's the opposite. Because,
Oh, she doesn't care?
Because she's like, I'm probably going to get nothing in the inheritance because I asked for a sari, which is like a dress, and earrings maybe.
So, new updates.
Big bull.
As of this morning, Emma has pulled her Facebook posts.
Finally. Finally.
Grandma is saying that I was unfair to go public. Went just as public before.
Yes.
And she is disappointed in me. I explained to Grandma that after our 3-way conversation, it was clear I was being accused. It was not fair to be unjustly accused and not notify the public that the jewelry was found because Emma wanted to save face. Emma's mom and sister have tried to reach out to me via friend requests. I want nothing to do with them until Emma issues an earnest public and private apology. Since my last update regarding the Facebook post, multiple family members and family friends have reached out to me about what a crappy person Emma is. Some expressed disappointment in her actions to protect her facade and her treatment of me when I have been supportive and sincere to her on her big day. I thought that was rather amusing. Edit, since some assumed I'm putting up with my grandma's Pope. He was cut off after that conversation. We do have some relevant comments to close this out. So SLJ7 says, good. I remember your original update about this. She deserves for people to think badly of her. Sometimes that's the only thing that will change a person. She could have ended this long ago by just posting online to say the jewelry was found. She didn't. So here we are. And OP says, I never wanted to go that route. I wanted to be civil about things. However, she wanted to let people run with the idea that I stole the jewelry. No, man.
Boom.
And then Wolfwater says, what does her husband have to say about all of this and the type of person that he now knows he married?
Interesting question.
OP responds, not sure, honestly. He does not have social media. He's a detective.
Crack the case of your wife being an a-hole.
Now I want to know what the other jobs are if everyone's just crapping on the project manager.
Yeah, bro. Project managers get paid way more than detectives.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going off of the superficial, like, monetary hierarchy.
Project managers get paid
bank, dude. Six figures.
6 figures.
For show.
I mean, sometimes mid 6 figures if you're like up there. Not sure, honestly. He has a detective. I would love to know his stance, though. I wonder if she hid all of it from him. He seems quite polite and nice until he's toying with the law.
Oh, God.
Catching those criminals. Anyway, it baffles me that she managed to lock him down. And that is where this story ends.
Wow.
Wowzy.
Wow.
Wowzer.
This is kind of like when somebody finds out about somebody cheating and they're like, you should take down the posts. You know, let's have this conversation. Help clear my name. Take down the posts at a minimum. She's like, she didn't do it. She's like, all right, fine. I tried to go to you to resolve it that way. Now I have to go and publicly resolve it.
And it feels like OP literally gave them every opportunity.
Totally.
So OP, not the a-hole. I think, honestly, in this case, I probably would have done everything that OP did.
That's right. You gotta fight for your honor.
But we got another story coming your way.
Yeah, we do. Am I the jerk for deciding I won't let my stepbrother move in with me once I get my own place?
Step Bros. Great movie.
Step Bros, great short films.
Oh my God.
But this comes from Ghost Redblood, who says, I am female, 17, going on 18 soon, and
I am 17,
going on 18, and I'm about to graduate school soon. Congrats. My stepbrother, who is 27, going on 28, has been living with his mom since he was 23. And then moved in with my stepdad, with me and my mom, because they were in a serious relationship not too long after, maybe a month or two. My stepbrother moved in at 23, so he's never really lived outside of the home. This is kind of written in a run-on sentence, so bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen.
Why do you have to say going on? You are always going on the other age.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm 26 going on, or no, I'm 27. Shit.
I'm 23 and a half.
I'm 27 going on 28.
He also refuses to get his license because he thinks it's too much effort. Too much effort.
Smart, intelligent people don't have license.
Who?
The dude off of Big Bang Theory, Sheldon, doesn't have a driver's license.
That is a fictional character, sir.
Albert Einstein didn't have one.
There were like horse and carriages when he was.
No, he was in the 30s, bro. 40s.
Einstein is not in this story. Nor Oppenheimer. So, I've been saving up. Oh, and sorry, real quick. So to finish out the TLDR, this stepbrother is wanting to move in with OP, but he's like 28 and has never lived on his own. I've been saving up to buy a place for when I move out. I've actually been trying to save money to move out to at least rent somewhere else. My stepbrother, however, has never even tried. When his grandmother passed away, who he apparently wasn't really close to, he did get about 10 grand from her when he was about 25. But instead of using that money to rent and get some independence, he wastes all his money and buys junk online that he could have bought later on. He also doesn't do anything around the house to help. And he's very selfish too. I've had to replace door handles to the bathroom and toilet and his room because he doesn't even turn them and he just slams the door. So bro is just ripping door handles out and not replacing them.
Who is this guy, the Hulk?
So our rooms also have sliding door closets, and one time he had so much stuff in his closet it broke off of its hinges. My mom asked him if he could fix it, which isn't hard to do. You just have to lift it up slightly as the doors aren't heavy. Yeah, it just got like off of its track. Okay. But he refused to do that. 2 weeks later, he still hadn't done it, and my stepdad ended up doing it. He also speaks to my mom really rudely. My mom never wants to be home because she feels uncomfortable in her own home. Kick him out. He's 28. I'm sorry. She can't talk to me or my stepdad privately without him listening in and not minding his own business. Also, a few months ago, my mom told him he needed to buy new pajamas because they were so worn out you could see through them. My God.
Who is this guy? He sounds awful.
He refused and ignored my mom, and it wasn't until months later that my mom said to him again, and my stepdad saw and told him to get new pajamas.
You know those pajamas that like allow you to open up the ass flap?
Butt flap.
The butt flap pajamas?
so you can use the bathroom.
You can use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Lumberjack.
That's what I'm imagining, but there's just no butt flap.
Anyways, let's get back to this story. Also, we got a new kitten recently, and my mom doesn't want her being trapped in his room. It's okay if she follows you in there, but she never does. My stepbrother often lures and even picks up the kitten and locks her in his room. My mom has told him not to do that, and then he started doing it when he wasn't home. One time when my parents went out, he locks the kitten in the room again, and I messaged my mom telling her. She tells my stepdad, and he rings my stepbrother and asks if he has the cat in his room. My stepbrother lied and said no. This is literally like child behavior from a 27-year-old man. This is,
I mean, he's had multiple instances of child behavior. Man is off his rocker. He needs to get his crap together.
Before slamming open the door, then going outside and slamming the door. He was practically throwing a tantrum from being told off. He also makes me feel very uncomfortable. Like he will come up to me and start poking me in the ribs, and if I tell him stop, he keeps doing it. And he does it hard. I've told my mom, and her and my stepdad have told him to stop, but now he just does it when they are not home. He also steals my stuff. I have ADHD, so I own a fidget spinner, which I play with at my home. Anyway, I've had one beside my bed on my bedside table, and after school, I went looking for it, and I couldn't find it. And I swear I left it on my bedside table. I went crazy looking for it, and it wasn't until I walked past him in his room, and I saw on his desk that I knew that he had taken it. So I pulled it off his desk and put it in my pocket. And when he got home, I asked him if he knew where it was. He told me he hadn't seen it. I then told him, "Don't lie to me. I found it on your desk. Don't go into my room again."
He obviously hasn't grown up at all.
He doesn't do anything. The only jobs he has are to take the bins out, and that's it. Unlike me, who has to feed the cats, chickens, scoop the litter, empty the dishwasher, dust, do the eggs,
Maybe like
the chicken eggs.
collect the eggs.
Yeah. And take care of the garden. And my stepbrother doesn't even do his only job of taking out the trash, aka himself. That was a comment from me.
Ooh,
Got
get
him.
him.
Anyway, my mom and stepdad told me that he needs to move out soon, and he said that it's fine and he can move in with me when I get my own place.
Oh, no.
I immediately told him, yeah, that is never going to happen.
Gross.
So
I can't imagine moving in with this joker.
And I feel like he would squat and not pay any rent and make OP do absolutely everything, and it would not be a vibe. So to answer OP's question, no, you're not a jerk.
I am curious on if he ever experienced trauma at a certain age, and why is his mind still stuck at a childlike, you know?
Hey, I mean that's totally a possibility.
Leave that to the psychiatrist, dude.
Yeah.
Kick him out of your house.
That is totally fair point. Now, honestly, could totally be true, but it's not OP's problem
Yeah.
to solve or fix or anything. Dude, this guy is so immature. Oh my God.
Yeah, I want to know how big bro is.
I think he's beefy. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all there is. Where are we at in the
53 minutes.
53.
All right.
We have one more, and it's 1,700 words.
Let's hit it. All right. So my 16-year-old stepdaughter was manipulated into hiding infidelity from me.
Oh,
This comes from the throwaway account.
that's not fun.
My 47 male stepdaughter, who I'll call Phoebe, lost her dad when she was 7. She remembers him as her hero, and I can try to keep his memory alive for her as much as I can. My wife, 45 female, and Phoebe's father were divorced when he passed away. I had met him a few times and always admired how much he loved his daughter. We had about 2 years of co-parenting before his passing, so I was there to support both Phoebe and my wife. It was a tough time for us all. Phoebe was feeling isolated and confused. My wife was distressed, and I was devastated to see them both hurting. I did my best to provide support, even though we weren't wealthy. My main goal was never to replace her dad, so I was surprised when Phoebe started calling me dad when she was 13. It still warms my heart every time she says it.
I am team OP super hard right now. Big
W's for OP.
W's the chat.
As the years went by, Phoebe and I grew closer and learned to navigate our unique family situation. About 6 months ago, my wife started pulling away. I thought it was just a midlife crisis, but looking back, it was clear signs of infidelity. She had late work projects, business trips, and seemed distant. She didn't even want intimacy. At the same time, I noticed Phoebe more anxious around her mother. She would avoid me and spend less time with me, which hurt, but I chalked it up to teenage angst. I tried, which is like, honestly, W husband for the first thing he just thinks of is not cheating.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's like a secure guy, but it
It's
sucks.
secure and trusting, but.
So I tried talking to Phoebe, but she would avoid me and stay in her room or out late. She wouldn't even share about her day with me. That's when I realized something was really wrong. I snooped on our shared iPad and found messages from someone named Fiona. Turns out Fiona is a 40-year-old man.
Uh-oh.
I was feeling a mix of emotions, disgust, anger, and hurt, but one question kept nagging at me. Why was Phoebe acting so strangely? The following evening, I was driving Phoebe to therapy when I decided to ask her about her feelings towards her mom working so much. This seemed to make her defensive. She raised her voice and insisted that she didn't care, that it was just work and everything was fine. We went back and forth for a couple of minutes until she finally asked me, "Do you know?"
Do I know what?
That's when she dropped the bombshell. Not only had my wife been cheating on me for 8 months, but Phoebe had caught her in the act. I felt betrayed, but that feeling quickly turned to rage when Phoebe explained why she hadn't told me. My wife had threatened her, saying it would be her fault if I left and never came back.
Crazy.
Evil, 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 evil.
As heartbreaking as that was, nothing could have prepared me for what Phoebe said next. I'm sorry, really. I just didn't want to lose 2 dads. I don't think I could handle that again. Please don't leave, Daddy.
Dump the wife.
I tried to hide my emotions to reassure her that I wasn't going anywhere, but deep down, I was seething. Hurting me is one thing, but bringing my daughter into it was unforgivable. I wanted to scream, to cry, to see that woman suffer for what she had done to my daughter. But I knew that wasn't an option. All I could do in the moment was reassure my girl. That's what I had to do. I haven't told my wife that I know. I don't know what to do next. I'm pissed. Sorry for being vague. I can't get my mind right. But I think something to think about, because this needs to be handled delicately, because I don't know what the situation is, but the bio mom could bar OP from seeing the stepdaughter because they're not blood related.
But also, if you go to court, and especially if the daughter testifies, which, I mean, honestly, ideally, she doesn't have to.
If he hasn't adopted her, he needs to adopt her like now before he tells the wife.
That takes a long process because by the time he gets that, she'll be 18. So,
and she'll probably know what's going on too. The mom, like,
yeah, and
probably.
she's 16, so she can probably like drive herself. And
yeah, like the dad low-key might need to stick through this to keep the daughter.
It's possible. Like, I don't know how this like shakes out legally, but I could see the daughter just being like, I'm staying with dad. Like, I'm not gonna continue living with you and like being with you.
Let's get into comments.
Do it.
Level issue 5196 says, "Wow, how selfish of your wife to treat her family like this. I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm sure Phoebe is very glad to have you in her life. Best of luck to you." Vegetable Cod 2340 says, "Especially to play off her daughter's past loss. What a horrible thing to do." And then Ghost of a Phoenix says, "Screenshot everything you found, find a lawyer. Depending on where you are, you may be able to get visitation due to dad passing and you being a prominent figure in her life. But that is for a lawyer to help you navigate. I also suggest therapy for your daughter. This is a lot for her to deal with, especially the manipulation from mom. I really hate cheaters, but I also loathe cheaters who drag kids into the middle of this cluster mess they created. Talk with your daughter, be real, tell her that you still love her, support her, take steps to see what happens, be ready to tell her that even if you can't see her, you will always be there. And especially when she's older, she can find you. I am only saying that in case court doesn't grant you even visitation. I am sorry for you both and your daughter. Miss Killed It said adoption would be quick. Dad's died. Only mom would have to sign. So maybe that's true. But
Yeah.
So if they're able to slide by while she is still unaware that OP knows about the cheating, then maybe it's like, hey, let's get adopted. Boom, quick signature. Then OP's able to.
And hopefully it's in a state where it's a no-fault state, where he has more right to custody, even though infidelity was involved. Because some no-fault states, like even if there is infidelity, custody, they don't really care.
OP's so sweet. How did he not see this? Were there no red flags?
yeah, there has to have been red flags.
Come
He kind of
on.
picked up on it afterwards.
Yeah, but after like an egregious
In a long
transgression.
time. Oh my gosh.
But update 1 day later. So my 16-year-old daughter, my stepdaughter, was manipulated into hiding infidelity from me. I wanted to give a quick update on the situation with Phoebe. I had to cut it short because I promised a very hangry teenager some McDonald's. The initial 6 hours proved to be quite tumultuous. Phoebe appeared noticeably tense and apprehensive, probably fearing her mother finding out. She clung to me, even going so far as to endure watching baseball, a sport she typically despises. Her conversations with her mother were marked by a hint of irritability, a behavior I chose not to address as I normally would. It seemed as though the dynamics of a relationship had shifted, with Phoebe now exhibiting the same volatile behavior that I had previously experienced. Gradually, she came to realize that she was in a safe environment, began to relax her grip on me. However, her demeanor towards her mother remained curt. Phoebe and I had a chat about what she wants, and she expressed a desire for me to have full custody of her.
Wow.
She also opened up about some other emotional abuse she has endured from her mother, which honestly makes sense because there's no way this was the first time.
Yeah. God.
I assured her I would do my best to gain full custody, but explained that since I never officially adopted her, I may only be able to get visitation rights. She also asked about emancipation, which I admitted I know very little about, so we decided to look into it together. I'm really hoping Phoebe can keep up her grades next year as she's on track for a music scholarship to a good university. She's been spending a lot of time playing her violin since our chat, and I'm happy to see her using music as a way to cope. I'm not pushing her on school stuff right now since it's the end of the year and it won't affect her GPA. I'm just hoping she can get back to her usual driven self by September. Phoebe is definitely not acting like your average teenager, but she's starting to show some signs of her old self again, which I'm grateful for. It made me so happy when she started teasing me again. However, I can't help but wonder if she's hiding her true feelings behind her jokes. She has a tendency to keep her emotions bottled up until she can't take it anymore. She hasn't said much besides feeling relieved about not hiding things from me anymore, so I'm not sure if I should be more concerned. As for my wife, quote unquote, I wish I could say I've stopped caring about her, but a part of me still loves her. I try not to dwell on those thoughts for too long because I believe the best thing for Phoebe is to get both of us away from her mother. I've been reflecting on my own childhood and how my feelings were often overlooked when my parents made decisions. I never want Phoebe to experience the same feeling, especially since she will be the one most affected by this. Yeah, I feel like OP is really trying to put his stepdaughter first in all of these situations. Even, ahead of his own feelings where he still has like love for his wife.
OP is flawless. I cannot find one thing that OP has said, thought, or done wrong in this entire story.
Phoebe is currently seeing 2 therapists, one specializing in CPTSD for events I haven't discussed here, and another specializing in OCD. What's post-traumatic stress disorder? MKL says complex PTSD. Jumpus, thanks. I have faith that they will be able to support her through this challenging time. I am in the process of looking for a lawyer, and I've been a bit distant with my wife lately. It feels strange to ask Phoebe to keep quiet about what I know, so I've decided not to bring it up. If she does end up talking about it, I won't hold it against her. I've been gathering evidence from texts and bank statements, and it turns out my wife spent around $8,500 on the other guy. I can't believe how clueless I was.
Oh.
This will probably be the last update for a while. I'll update again when I speak with a lawyer and decide exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you all so much for your support. I hope that was sufficient enough update on Phoebe's mental state. And some comments to close us out. Marv115 says, your wife is so eager to keep her affair hidden, you might be able to adopt her now and then divorce her. Okay, Patient 6957 says, if that happens, the mother might still win custody of her and he will be forced to pay his ex child support. Oh. Marv115 says, at 16, they would take her choice as lead. Maybe not full for him, but majority.
So because she's like so close to basically being a legal adult, it's like the child's decision has way more weight.
Yeah.
Because they can like actually like explain themselves and
Because they have consent in most states.
We learned that in 33 states, 16 is the legal age of consent. I hope OP can navigate the situation and do what's best for his stepdaughter, even in the face of his wife actively trying to basically emotionally abuse her daughter.
100%.
So maybe there'll be an update in the future. But if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.